and happy, I don't even know what day it is. Happy Wednesday. Is it hump day already? Whew, what a week it's been already. Welcome to my live. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. And I have a fun old school meets new school project that we're going to work on this evening. Thank you for hopping on. When you do hop on, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. Let me know that you're here. That's the only way I know that you're here is if you say hello in the comments. I also want to let you know that I am using an online platform called StreamYard that allows me to go live in 3 places this evening. I'm live on my Facebook page. I'm live in my Facebook group, which if you haven't joined that, let me know in the comments below and I can get you added. And I'm also live on my YouTube channel. So after this video is over, after you're done watching, go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell to get all the notifications. That way, if Facebook ever decides that it needs to take a vacation like it did a few weeks ago, you can always catch me live on YouTube as well. Also, if you hear me refer to a comment that you may not see in your feed, that is why. They may be watching from a different platform than you. Also, if you're watching from my group, if you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard access to your profile name, that way you show up as your name instead of a Facebook user. That way I know who I am talking to. I see that my friend Bonita is on. I hope you had a great vacation last weekend, and I hope you made it back safe. I don't know if you notice from my list of materials that I have here, I do not have a Couture silkscreen transfer on my table at all. I do have ink, so we'll be using the Couture ink in Black Velvet. I will be using, hopefully, my 4-inch Squeegee. This is the old style 4-inch Squeegee. There is a new one, and I have it linked in the cart link in the description. But we are going, I said earlier, we're going to be doing old school meets new school. So we will be using the ink, but I'm going to be using a Screenprint frame and a vinyl stencil. My family hopefully is going to get to go to Kansas Speedway this weekend and celebrate our son's 20th birthday a year and a half later, thanks COVID. So I thought about buying a t-shirt. I'm not really for sure if I have a favorite driver currently. Plus, as soon as I buy a shirt, they're going to change car numbers. So I decided to make my own t-shirt, but I really like the way that Couture works. So I have seen videos on using a Screenprint frame and a vinyl decal. So that's what or vinyl stencil. So that's what we're going to do this evening. So I'm going to put my shirt aside for one moment. So what I did, and this is just a 10x14 Screenprint frame that I bought at my local craft store. And then I cut out, and you can't see it yet, but I will be weeding it here pretty soon. I bought an SVG off of Etsy. I put it into my Silhouette Studio software. I mirrored it because I wanted to print it backwards. And now I'm going to peel the backer sheet off. So I don't need that anymore. I don't know if you probably can't see any of the design. So because I want this to be a stencil, I'm going to take out all of the negative pieces, or all of the inside or the negative pieces. And if you do any vinyl decals and weeding or HTV, this is the best weeding tool that I didn't even buy it. It's a mechanical pencil. You take the lead out and you insert a needle up into the pencil, and it makes the best weeding tool, in my opinion. So I'm just going to take, if I can get a hold of it, I'm just going to take the insides. I probably should have done this ahead of time, but I wanted to kind of show you what it looked like. You just want to take the insides out. It's usually a little easier than this. But I also don't normally have it on my transfer tape already. So actually, I'm just going to peel it all out. I don't normally put it on, I did it backwards this evening. I usually weed it on my backer sheet and not on the transfer tape. It makes it a little easier to peel off. But I'm just taking out all the insides, but I do want to leave the insides of the letters. Like if there's an E or an O, and I want to leave the inside of the A. I'm just weeding. This is technically considered, it can be considered reverse weeding because I already have it on the transfer tape. So it does actually make weeding easier because the inside pieces are intact. Sometimes when I weed, I get carried away and I end up peeling off my insides of my letters or my dots to my eyes. So actually this way to weed is a little bit, you can be a little bit more successful. So it's your side if there's a, that's just a bubble. So you can see that, oops, the design is starting to take shape. You can also see that it's much easier just to peel one solid silkscreen transfer off of the backer sheet, i.e. chalk couture, than it is to weed vinyl. But sometimes to get a certain design that you want, you kind of have to go old school a little bit. So let me know in the comments if you've ever made a vinyl decal or stencil. Okay, so I've got it all weeded. I don't know if you can see, it says it's race day, y'all. I thought that was pretty generic. And I do have to, I have to put it on the back, but I think that's right. I think I'm just going to lay it down, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think I'm just going to gently lay it down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that up. I'm just going to leave it. I didn't get it all the way centered, but it should be okay. So then I'm just going to take my squeegee, or my little scraper tool. It might be less loud if I do it this way. But I'm going to make sure I get it down good. So this is the same concept as a chalk couture silk screen transfer. It's just a few more steps. And I hope that that works. So I'm going to kind of burnish it with my finger. Make sure I've got a good seal around all of the letters. And then I'm going to flip it back over. Sorry, I keep flipping it. And I'm just going to, there's still some silk screen that's exposed. And I don't want to ink into those places. I'm just going to cover up those edges with some tape. And if you want to watch a pro do this, I've been following a lady, and her social media handles are Pigskins and Pigtails. She does a lot of screen printing like this with vinyl decals or vinyl stencils. She's a pro. Okay. Okay. I think I've got that good and burnished. So it is adhered to our silk screen frame. Just making sure that it's good and down. Okay, so I'm going to put some of this stuff to the side. I'm going to snag my shirt. So I just have a plain t-shirt right here that I've had in my stash. Make sure I get some of the sleeves out from underneath. Get all the wrinkles out of the back. And I do have my ink mat inside of my shirt. You can see it hanging out right there. It's a sticky mat. It's a 17 by 17 sticky mat. I'm just trying to get all of the wrinkles out of the back of the shirt because I can feel them there. Oops. So what the ink mat does is it helps to keep the fabric stretched slightly. So there's a lot less give and slack in the fabric of my shirt. It keeps it from moving around. Oh, yeah, you're right, Bonita. Oh, you are correct. What would I do without you? Good thing I read it before I got too far. You are correct. Thank you, Bonita, for saving my hide. Yes, I do need to remove the transfer tape. Okay, so now let's remove the transfer tape. And so when I pull the transfer tape off, it's different than with the Chalk Couture transfer. If I pull straight up, it's most likely going to pull my vinyl with it. But when I pull transfer tape off of vinyl, you almost want to go at a 180 degree from what you're pulling. So I just pull straight back. That way it's less likely to pull my vinyl up. And I go slow. See, it pulled up my A. But if I just kind of reverse it back down. Whoop, there went my A again. I do know that Pigskins and Pigtails, she uses a paper transfer tape, so it's more like a masking tape transfer paper, and it will probably work a little. It will be a little less sticky than that. And I do reuse this, so I'm just going to set it over here, and I will put it back on my roll. So now I'm going to move my t-shirt again. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I am, because it's not sticky. So now I'm going to kind of burnish it again now that I've kind of pulled and tugged on it a little bit. Make sure that those A's are, the insides of those A's are stuck down. Okay, now we should be good to go. Okay, now we're ready to go. So now I'm going to retape where I have gaps. And these, the screens are removable. There's a cord in this slot that you can take out, and you can pop this screen out and put it in another one. So technically, this doesn't necessarily have to be a one and done screen. I can pop it off and put another screen in and just kind of file. I thought that looked weird. File this one away. I didn't get part of my C. I thought that looked funny. So this is a way to still invest in Chalk Couture ink. Even if there aren't any transfers that you particularly like, or if there's a custom transfer, this is a great way to make one of those custom transfers. I got this taped a little too close to my bar. Okay, now I think we're digging where there's taters. Okay, now I'm going to bring my t-shirt back in. I think we're ready to go. I got to get all those. I almost think these need to be sticky on 2 sides. Okay, so I'm going to get it adjusted so I can kind of see the middle of my shirt. Thanks, Bonita. You really saved my bacon. Okay, so let's put that back down. And I'm just gonna make sure, yep. I hope this works. If it doesn't, oh de bo. Okay, so where is, I think I'm gonna line that up with the top of the neck, because that's way more than 3 inches. That's pretty close. So I'm going to pull it back down just a tad. And it looks mostly center. Okay, so here comes the fun part. So I'm going to grab a stir stick. Let's pull in our sleeves a little bit. And try to get as little fabric exposed as possible. In fact, I'm going to put a towel over here to cover up this side of my shirt since I'll be transferring ink. Okay, here goes. Cross your fingers and your toes. So I'm just opening up my black ink, but I'm doing it over here to the side. And I always lost that stir stick. When all of your stuff is teal, you manage to lose it. Okay, so I'm just grabbing a little bit of ink and I'm going to put it on the top up here. And I'm going to kind of even it out a little bit. Hopefully that'll be enough. I think I'm going to skip to the angled squeegee. I've never used this before, and it's probably not a good idea to use it on a shirt. So I'm going to use the angled squeegee, and hopefully it doesn't give me squeegee lines. But I'm just going to hold my frame down, and we're just going to drag the squeegee with a light touch down the silk screen frame. And I did not get enough ink, but that's okay. So I'm just going to dip in quite a bit here. So if this works, it'll be a pretty quick project. Although I may have to do this side left-handed. I'm not quite for sure how I'm going to. We'll switch to this. Well, that one works better anyway. There is like a 14-inch speedball squeegee you can get, which would help reduce all of these lines, but I think I can get them all out. Because then you'd be making one swipe versus many. can see it soaking in quite a bit. Okay, I think the only problem with this that is different than the Chalk Couture transfers is that with the transfers, I can pick it up slowly and see if there's a place that I missed. With this, it's not going to be that easy. So what I want to do is keep my hand, I'm going to keep my right hand over here on the shirt so that it doesn't move. And I'm going to pick the frame up. It's pretty dang good, folks. There's a little bit of the R right there that I didn't get, but I might be able to fill that in. And the cool thing is, that's pretty slick, folks. The cool thing is I can keep reusing this, and if I wanted to make multiple shirts of this design, I just pop it right back down onto another shirt. That's pretty slick. No, Jason, I don't know if talented is the right word. I just spend so much time on social media that I get lots and lots and lots of ideas. But I think these products make it easy. Okay, so now I'm going to get my drying tool out, and I may try to, let's see if we can fix this R a little bit. These are just little pointy Q-tips. This may be an epic disaster. You're probably saying, don't do it, don't do it. Actually, that worked out great. Perfection. Can't even tell. Okay, so let's dry this before anything else happens. So I'm mainly just drying this just so that I can move it without wrecking it. I do see another spot. Because what I typically do when I ink something is I let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll come back and I will heat set it. And there's a little part of this E that I didn't get. So I'm just going to dab it on and okay, I'm done. Done. Maybe. As it dries, I can see some of the edges that may not have gotten done. So when you heat set things to make this ink permanent, you can use either a home iron, or I have a Cricut Easy Press, or you can even use an industrial heat press. So if you use a home iron, you're going to set your iron to the fabric that you're heat setting. So in this case, probably cotton. And you're going to want to keep your iron moving, but heat set it for 4 minutes. And I usually put a piece of parchment paper over it. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use like a thin pillowcase or even a flour sack towel. If you have a bandana, that would work. So keep your iron moving for 4 minutes. Flip it inside out. And then iron the inside, the back side of the ink for maybe 30 seconds to a minute with the parchment paper. If you have an easy press or a heat press, then you can set that to like 305 is the typical cotton setting. And then you would lay your easy press or your heat press down for 30 seconds per side. So I usually use the parchment paper and my easy press on the front side for 30 seconds, flip it inside out, And I usually put the parchment paper on the inside because when this is flipped inside out, it may not be completely dry. Hope that makes sense. And then would do 30 seconds per side. I don't know if that made a bit of sense. But I'll show you. Yeah. See if that makes any sense. Yeah, as this dries, I can see where I didn't get some of my edges. And I'm not gonna, let's not use that one. That one's well used. Let me get a different one. Okay, we can turn that off. So part of this why I may end up, hopefully, if I play around too many times, I'm just going to screw it up. But, okay. Has everyone had a good hump day? It's almost Friday. And if you do watch NASCAR, who's your favorite driver? My favorite driver was Dale Jr., but he retired. So I really haven't found a favorite driver since. I'd have to say maybe, sadly, I used to not like him very well, but Joey Logano is becoming one of my favorites. So we'll see. I don't really have a favorite anymore. I have a couple that I don't like. I think Kyle Larson is the new Jimmy Johnson Jr. Jason says Joey Logano. You mean Ryan Blaney? Not Dave Blaney. Dave Blaney's old. I do like Austin Cindric, but hopefully he'll be in Cup next year. Yeah, you know Ryan. Okay. I think this is as dry as I'm going to get it. Let's move all that ink stuff away. I better wash my hands too. The nice thing about this is there isn't as much cleanup. But so if you have ink and you have specific t-shirts that you want to make and there isn't a transfer for it, this is a great alternative. And like I said, you can pop that screen right off of that frame. You can pop it right off of that frame and then you can add a new one. Pretty easy. The cording right here comes out and then you just pop the screen out. So this was a lot of fun. You can get larger screens. You can get screens that are on a hinge. There's all sorts of things you can do with these. And if you have multiples of something to do, it's easy just to pull it off and put it right back on. But great for truly specific custom graphic tees. So that's all I have this evening. I just do want to remind you about the Club Couture transfer for the month. This is a monthly DIY subscription mailed directly to your mailbox for $19.99 a month. There is free shipping with this DIY kit. Excuse me while I get a drink. You get 3 coordinating paste singles along with an exclusive size B 8.5 by 11 transfer, so that the only way to get this specific transfer this month is to either be a club member or a designer. Your paste singles include camel, papaya, and shimmer olive. You also, as a club member, get $4.95 flat rate shipping on any additional chalk site order, which I so wished I could get that flat rate shipping. You also get any other special offers and deals through Chalk Couture. This month, all customers are eligible to get any of the Positive Vibes transfers for 50% off. So there's some animal prints. There are some kind of motivational sayings. The one that says "Make Today Yours," that's actually an 8x18 transfer. It is humongous. And if you qualified for the Club Couture Bounce Back coupon last month, you can certainly stack your 25% off coupon on top of the already 50% off transfers. So that's quite the heck of a deal. I think that's all the announcements I'm going to make this evening. Thank you for watching this evening. Again, I won't be live Friday or Saturday like normal schedule. I don't think at this point I will be live. We're supposed to be at the race this weekend. So my plan is to see you all next Monday here live again at 7:45 p.m. Central. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I thank you for watching. Talk to you later.